So, we're going to be discussing Bhakti Yoga and also be discussing a few small sutras on birth. Very nice. Next slide. There we are. Amatya Anucharad.
Amatya Anucharad.
Devata Bhakti.
Devata Bhakti.
The deity the native will adore is seen from the Bhratrukaraka or Bhratrikaraka. Anucharad could mean the 12th sign, from the sign occupied by Amatyakaraka, as in the stanza 141, where Anuchar is interpreted as the 12th sign. Or it could mean the Bhratrikaraka, because the Bhratrikaraka is the one which follows Amatyakaraka. So Amatya, following. The one who follows Amatya is Bhratri. It can also mean 12th from Amatyakaraka. Okay. In stanza 1.2.82, worship is also seen from the 6th sign from Amatyakaraka. Hence the latter interpretation of 12th from Amatyakaraka has been accepted by all commentators. It shows the bhakti of the native and deity he will adore. So the interpretation of 12th from Amatyakaraka, we don't accept, because we already have a place to see worship from Amatyakaraka. Instead, we accept this as Bhratrikaraka. It also shows the guru and the spiritual path he will adore. Bhratrikaraka is going to give enlightenment. So if you want to see a place in your chart which will give enlightenment, look for Bhratrikaraka. It will give bhakti and knowledge both. To see the strength of bhakti in a person's life, see the link between 5th house, which is Bhakti Bhava, 5th house, and Bhratrikaraka.
5th house. No.
5th house,
Lord.
yes, and the Lord also, and Bhratrikaraka. If there's a strong link, there's lots of bhakti. You have that?
Yes.
Yes, strong bhakti will be there. Good.
The relationship between Bhratrikaraka
And 5th house.
My battery correct in 5th house.
Nice.
It's very
Rashi
good.
chart.
Bhakti is strong. We see this in Rashi chart.
Yeah.
Okay. Further, we will time when bhakti starts in your life based on this. This is not the same as spirituality starting. This is the same as real bhakti when it starts coming forth. When it really starts becoming a prominent part of your life. You may have learned spiritual principles from being a child, but bhakti itself, when it starts, that is what we're looking for here from Bhratrikaraka. We can do this easily using the Bhava Naisargika Dasha. Bhava Naisargika Dasha is very useful for overall timing of events. The calculation is very straightforward. The dual signs are always 9 years. The fixed signs are always 8 years. And the movable are 7 years in span. What is it?
I'm just looking at the order.
The Dasha sequence is based on houses from the Lagna and follows this order. From 4th house we go to 2nd house. From 2nd house to 8th house, and from 8th house to 10th house. Then, from 10th house to 12th house, from 12th house to 6th, from 6th to 5th, and from 5th to 11th house.
Something in Manduka, I think. Something.
It's based on Manduka Gati, yes.
So should we came to 5th house? Or bhakti?
Are you confusing two things? I said that the 5th house linked to Bhratrikaraka gives bhakti. But everybody will have their 5th house dasha at this time in life, almost smack in the middle. We want to see when the Bratchikaraka gets activated, because Bratchikaraka may not be linked, may not make it, it can be in any house. Mine is in 12th house, for example. Yours is in 5th house.
So it has to be linked to 5th for you to get bhakti.
The dasha must be that of Bratchikaraka. Then bhakti starts.
So you start from the 4th house or
Yes.
from the Lagna? From the 4th house.
Always 4th house. See here.
Okay.
4th house, 2nd house, 8th house, 10th house. Then 12th house, 6th house, 5th house, 11th house. Then 9th house, 7th house, 1st house, 3rd house.
Depende of the étoile, fish. One example in my 4th house is fish. My dasa.
I will show you
start-
dashes in a minute.
Ah,
I'll
with
show you
each
examples.
minute. Well, each years. Okay.
This sequence does not change. It's always this.
So mine should be after 49.
We'll see. Look, and I made some calculations. Planets in the first 4 houses, that means 4th, 2nd, 8th, and 10th, produce results early in life. Similarly, we can divide these results into early, middle, and late life based on this. Antardashas are not applied to this scheme, and instead other dasha systems should be used to attain the exact timing. Do not use antardashas here. There is antardasha calculation, but we don't use it. Because this method is to give you the overall, broad indication of events. This is useful because if you know this, then you know when to look for the various other dasha systems once you get this broad overview of events.
What type of events does this imply?
All events. All.
Hold.
I use this first when I have to time marriage. First this, then the other dashes.
Venus and Ketu.
Career, Raja Yoga, first this, then the others. Always.
Exactly.
First dasha. Is it the first dasha you've been taught in this course? I think so.
Yeah.
In this person's chart who has Taurus Lagna, Bratchikaraka is over here in 6th house. We are now going to count the years till we get to that 6th house dasha where Bratchikaraka is. Alright? It would be apt for us to analyze a link between the 5th house and Bratchikaraka. Do you see any link?
Where's Mercury?
Which one is Bhaktivinoda?
Mercury is in
Mercury.
Pisces.
Ivatri.
5th Lord Mercury in Pisces.
I'm
Saturn.
looking for something.
I'm sorry?
I'm looking for something which respects both.
Uh-huh.
There is such graha
No. H house. Mercury and Battery.
Any link between the two?
Venus.
I will just adjust this a little
Yes.
bit better. That good?
Slightly. So a link between the 8th house and...
Jupiter is aspecting Mercury, Varashi Drishti and Shani by Graha Drishti, but these are mixed drishtis.
So what do you say, guys? Do you think that Mercury being 5th Lord in Pisces and its Lord disposited Jupiter aspecting Saturn Bratchikaraka is the link? It is.
Yes.
We need any link. Any under the sun.
Any.
Any link.
That is
How the link is will tell us what's going to happen.
It says
Yes.
elder brother, it's
like
Guru.
you see, no?
Very nicely read down here. Yes. Well, just see the chart. How do you justify it here?
Yeah. This is
11th house.
11th house Mercury, all right. You will not find any other link. Saturn is not linked to is not in 5th house. The 5th Lord is not joined Saturn. Saturn is in Venus' sign. Venus is not linked to the 5th house. Nor is Venus joined or associated with Mercury anyway strongly. 5th Lord is in Pisces. Pisces is not anyway linked to Saturn. Mercury is in Jupiter's sign. Jupiter is over here and has aspect on Saturn. So, who's going to cause the link? Jupiter. It could be a dasha related to Jupiter or antardasha related to Jupiter. So this is what we'll use in Vimshotri dasha. This will be the case in Vimshotri dasha. Jupiter's joined Ketu. So when this happens, what's going to happen? Jupiter-Ketu yoga. The person will join the tradition.
So
The person will learn astrology. Maybe. It happened. So the link which is Jupiter is showing what is happening.
If
But,
you want to
uh,
see the
That's
48,
years.
female
No.
chart.
Yes.
It's a
Six.
gravitation.
Yes, so it'll be temporary.
Ooh.
One dasha.
One dash is started then go.
After Guru Dasha, it's what to do. That is possible. It is possible for this to happen in life.
16 years old. Start.
Yes, saw the Parivartana and Mangal in Vishabhadna when I noticed.
Okay.
Just a second.
What is Parivartana?
10th and 6th Lord and Parivartana.
Now,
Incidentally when I was
now. Next step, timing. We need to time when this Brahmakaraka gets activated. So we'll do the dashas. Naisarga dasha. First dasha is
Fourth house.
fourth house.
H-
Fourth
H-
house is which sign?
Leo.
Fixed.
Leo.
H.
So Leo is how many years?
8.
8 years of Leo. Then
Second house.
second house.
Nine.
Second house is
9.
Gemini. 9 years. So 8 plus 9?
7.
17 years. Then Sagittarius, right? 8th house. 9 years again. Jewel sign.
26.
26, correct. Then
10th
10th house. Dennis, you should tell me. We have 26 plus how many years?
8.
8 years, no. Yes.
Yes, 8 years. 26 plus 8 is?
8 is 34.
Good. Then after this?
12th house.
12th house. Is that so, Dennis?
No, I'm just checking with my nose.
I have to wait for his notes.
43.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay. So, 12th house, right? So that was how many years?
Uh,
7 years.
24 plus?
So
7 years.
7.
That's 41.
41. After 12th house dasha comes?
After 6th house.
6th house. Okay. How long is this dasha? 41 to?
48.
Correct. Bhakti started at age 48 through elder brother. It actually started between 41 and 48.
only battery, no Jupiter.
Just Bhakti-karaka. This is when Bhakti will start.
Battery back.
And this time it would apply for any other planet for any other purpose.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
So mine is not started.
Jesi možda zapisala?
Do we know it's started or not?
Druga, 8, 10,
When the Bhakti
12,
truly comes out. True worship. It's not the same as going to spirituality. This is not the same as, mark my words, this is not the same as going to spirituality. This means this can happen long after you've gone into spirituality, which is evident in this next case. Bhakti-karaka in 12th house. Despite learning pujas from age 5, true bhakti began at 32. So you could be born in a spiritual family, bhakti will not start maybe until much later. Okay? So Bhakti-karaka is indicating that because it is the stepping stone towards enlightenment. So what are we timing here? When the bhakti begins and when the real true self-analysis and self-awareness comes. Let's see here. Lagna is Pisces. Bhakti-karaka is Jupiter. Is there any link between 5th house and Jupiter?
Yeah, Rahu is it next?
5th house is Cancer. Jupiter is in Aquarius. Jupiter is not joined Cancer.
Jupiter aspect.
5th lord is Moon. There's no junction between Jupiter and Moon.
Rahu is right there in the 5th house.
Rahu is dispositive of Jupiter placed in 5th house. Correct. So Rahu will give the yoga. Will give the Bhakti yoga. How will Rahu give Bhakti yoga? He's joined Venus.
Through worship of Devi.
Who worship of Devi. Alright. Could be. Could be. There's Venus Moon Parivartana. Note that.
Still Devi, isn't it?
Still Devi, yes. But what you saw here as Rahu Venus is more like this yoga over here.
Change.
Moon Mercury yoga, Sharada yoga. Moon Mercury Mars yoga is also adding some Saraswati element to it. So excellence in learning mathematics is Mercury, Mars, yes?
Mhm.
Yes. Do you think this person can learn Jyotish also? Based on this? Maybe based on this? Person started learning Jyotish first. After some time, she got into Mantra Shastra and got into Mahavidya and Shri Yantra. See, Rahovina, Shri Yantra Sadhana. Specifically did Kamalatmika Sadhana because of this. This is all this yoga. First Jyotish, then this. Now, all right. So that is how it is happening. What is causing the bhakti to start? Venus can also indicate something like to marriage. So she married a person who's very skilled.
Well, with that affliction of Venus, she does need some strong guru.
Yes.
Already read the name.
Yes. Now, which is Pratrikarka here again? Jupiter. So we will start counting. 4th house, Gemini. How many years is that?
9.
9. After this dasha is
Second.
2nd house,
More.
movable sign. How many years?
7.
7 plus 9.
16.
After this dasha, 2nd house.
8 house.
8th house is Libra. How
7.
many years?
7.
7 plus 16.
23.
23. After 8th house dasha,
10th house.
10th house.
That's
23 plus?
22.
Plus 9, 32. After this, which dasha?
12.
12th house.
12th house. Jupiter's here. This is when bhakti should start.
Yes.
How many years is it? From 32 till?
Another 7 years, isn't it?
Fixed sign?
8.
8.
8 years. 32 till 40 it started. It works. So wherever your Pratrikarka is, that is when bhakti starts. True bhakti will start at this age.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Very good. Nice. Very nice.
What if you manage to leave this world
Can we
before it
count
actually
Jens
starts?
one?
Do we look chest? Yes, it's just.
Because this is the real account maybe.
Aha, you sure?
I don't know.
We'll take a small break so you can calculate your dashas, Jens's dashas, everybody's dashas and figure it out. Okay? Then after that I'll teach you more on Pratrikarka.
Maybe we can look Prabhupada's charts.
Yes, we can. Really finish them off. Slide. Focus of bhakti. Once you have found your Pratrikaraka, yes. If the Pratrikaraka has a Charakaraka replacement, we need to see the Graha replacing. This shows a change of bhakti. Like you could have one bhakti and you change to another. For example, Vistilasan. Vistilasan has Mercury as Pratrikaraka. And there is Charakaraka replacement, where Mercury Pratrikaraka is becoming Amatyakaraka. So Mercury is leaving his spot as Pratrikaraka. Now, who is the Stira Pratrikaraka? The one who replaced Mercury?
Mars.
Mars is the brother.
Oh, yeah.
So Mars means that Vistilasan can have change of bhakti from Mercury to Mars. So he may go from having a bhakti towards Jagannath or Krishna to having bhakti towards Mars. Mars indicates mother, usually. Mars indicates mother, usually. So as a result of which, Visti may decide to get more involved in Mahavidya. And his bhakti will be there. Possible. Or have a mother as guru, a lady as guru, is also implied by this. Because the Pratrikaraka shows the guru who's going to open this door. That's all it means. Who will open the door? Right?
So do we looking your Mars right now? Where is the Mars?
Depends on age. It has started. I'm looking to get Diksha from a lady, a nun. It's true.
Why? Why lady?
Because I prefer that. Mars.
Mars in Leo.
Mars is in Parivata with Sun, so it'll be a lady after all, right? Also in my Navamsha, Guru Mangala Yoga is there. Guru Mangala Yoga means that the person will have the protection of Durga. It is the blessing of the mother.
Guru Mangala.
And that Guru happens to be the Lord of 9th house from Atmakaraka. So it will be that the Guru is a form of this Durga. what it means. I'm sorry?
No, I'm just trying to. Guru Mangal by itself.
Durga Rupa. I'll show you why later. Now. 12th house from Bhatrikaraka shows the nature of the bhakti. If Bhatrikaraka is placed in a Samapada sign, then count in reverse. Let's see second house instead. The sign and planets will show the nature of bhakti. See, you can have bhakti towards many things. So we have to understand what is the nature of your bhakti. Here's one example. Bhatrikaraka is the sun. Do you see that? Sun is in Cancer.
So Samapada Rashi.
Cancer is Samapada or Vimsapada? Samapada. So instead of counting 12th, we'll count second because it's Samapada. Samapada second therefrom is Mercury in Leo. Second house is Leo, showing that the focus is on the rays of the sun, which means knowledge. Mercury is there, very academical focus. But it's bhakti towards this. The focus is on this. That is the bhakti. Alright?
Otherwise you look in reverse.
Yes. For example, Dennis, your Bhatrikaraka is which planet?
It's moon.
Moon. And moon is in Leo.
Yes, moon.
Is Leo Samapada or Vimsapada?
Vimsapada.
Vimsapada. Are you sure?
Yes.
It's not.
Then I'm not. Then I shouldn't be so sure.
Samapada. It
Leo is Samapada.
Yeah.
He said Vimsapada.
Oh.
So, Samapada. So instead of seeing 12th from Leo, we'll see second from Leo.
Yes.
What's this in the second from Leo?
A big party.
Which sign is this? Virgo.
Virgo.
Which planets are there?
Jupiter, Sun, Saturn.
Jupiter and Sun, Gopala Yoga. Gopala walked into the room. Okay?
Oh, but, yeah.
So you know which yoga it is for you. Okay? Jupiter and Sun will also focus on knowledge. But it's Virgo, so purity is more important for bhakti. Right? Saturn and Virgo surely also will put this in highlight. So Jupiter and Sun with the Saturn over there will surely give a yoga leading towards purity through Gopala. This could involve Narayan worship or Vasudeva worship. That is the focus here. Know the focus and you know which direction you're going. Which house is this from Lagna?
11.
So it'll come through friends or through Jyotish.
Friends.
Bhatrikaraka also shows what you will learn because it has to do with knowledge. In Navamsha, see the Bhatrikaraka. If placed in a Kendra or Kona, the native will surely imbibe the knowledge attained by that placement. Kendra placement will bring the person closer to the Guru. So, you may have some knowledge which is given to you from your Bhatrikaraka, from your Guru. But how do you know you'll fully imbibe it? If it's in Kendra or Kona to Navamsha. Otherwise it can be very difficult to imbibe it. You may have certain siddhis, but we don't see that from Bhatrikaraka. We see that from Dharakaraka. Same way, Kendra Kona, will you imbibe the siddhis? Of course, Kendra placement brings you closer to the Guru. This is all from Navamsha Lagna. What you're learning is based on the planet there, or planets joined. For example, if the sun is there, it indicates you will learn the Gita. If moon, Shankha Shastra, or Sankhya Shastra actually, it shouldn't be Shankha. Shankha means the conch. Sankhya Shastra, which means knowledge of the creation, cosmology. If moon is with Mercury, it's Ayurveda. So these yogas can change slightly. Mars, knowledge of pujas and homas. So what am I doing here? I'm saying whatever Jaimini has said earlier about the planets, apply to Bhatrikaraka to know what knowledge you're imbibing. What is really kept with you, which knowledge you keep. Mercury, Stapatya Veda, Vastu will come. Venus, Gandharva Veda. Saturn or Mercury, or gives Yoga Shastra. Saturn also gives knowledge of Dhanurveda. What is Dhanurveda? Knowing how to shoot with bows. Actually, it's warfare. Rahu will give Mantra Shastra and Ketu will give Jyotish Shastra.
This is from Lagna, right?
Bhratrikaraka.
No.
Is there a guru somewhere?
Grahas which join Bhratrikaraka because Ketu of course cannot be.
Ketu can join Bhratrikaraka, yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
A guru?
Guru, what the
Guru is not listed here, is it?
No.
No.
So that is Vedanga. Vedanga Jyotish. Which Vedangas are there? All these are Vedangas. So you'll have knowledge of more Vedangas based on Jupiter's placement. Is there something specific associated with Jupiter? Purana Vidya is there. Knowledge of language. Language. Vyakarana. Okay.
Did you say for Darakaraka and Navamsha can show Siddhi?
Yes.
This is a Kendra and Kona placement, and if it's in Dushtana, then you don't learn nothing.
Then even though you're taught, you may not imbibe the knowledge.
Okay.
What do you
Then
mean
you-
imbibe?
Imbibe means you keep it. It becomes part of your heart.
Right.
You do this every day of your life. So it's not, if the Bhratrikaraka is not in Kendra or Kona, then maybe a planet aspecting it is in Kendra or Kona. Then you'll imbibe that knowledge.
Short-
More Sankhya Shastra. Sankhya Shastra means knowledge of the body, knowledge of knowledge of cosmology. It shouldn't be Shankar Shastra. That's a mistake on my part. Sankhya Shastra,
Cosmology.
cosmology.
Cosmology is like astronomy, or knowledge of the body is like more like, I don't know.
It's both.
My
Creation. Creation.
Yes, all the planets can.
Knowing about yugas, dashas also, cycles of things. This is also the Sankhya Shastra. Relevance of body in the universe, lokas, chakras, all of that is more. More knowledge acquired will be based on the Manduka Gati of Bhratrikaraka.
Look at
Ah,
how do we
how to do it.
how to do it.
See, take, whose chart should we do? Whose chart? You can do mine also. I'd appreciate it. My Navamsha has Bhratrikaraka, Mercury, in Taurus. Right? Taurus is an even sign. So from there, from Taurus, I should go backwards. So to go from Taurus to Pisces. But there are no planets there. So there's nowhere to land. So there's no knowledge to acquire. So instead of going backwards, I'll go forwards. See that? Note that. That's important. So from Taurus, I'll go forward. Which is the third sign from Taurus?
Cancer.
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 Because in Pisces.
So it's a mantra.
So there is Rahu there in Cancer. So then I'll learn Mantra Shastra. Okay? So that means I'm acquiring that. Now you have to jump more than this. I go third from Cancer. In third from my Cancer, there are no planets in Virgo. So I cannot jump beyond that.
So you can only learn mantras.
That is what is imbibed on my soul. I may use different things, but what am I really carrying? Mantra.
Only looking from Vina.
Because 3 is showing you moving for growth. For this purpose. You're growing. You're getting
Right.
new skills. Third house is skills. You could also grow 6th house, but that's not new skills. Third house is skills. So growing with skills is third house chart. Okay?
And where is Jupiter in this in Navamsha?
My Jupiter Navamsha is in Scorpio. So only if I can jump over Virgo do I get to Scorpio. But there are no planets in Virgo, so I cannot jump.
It does not affect Bhatrikaraka or anything. No.
It aspects the third from Bhatrikaraka, where Rahu is. So with the mantra shastra comes the Jupiter and Mars and everything.
Venus, what mean?
Venus, it doesn't say here,
Ah.
Gandharva Veda.
Which one is the dominant? First one or the Mandukagati?
Both. This is what you start with, then you go to next house. Spirituality also grows like this. Religion also grows like this.
Third house.
So you can do this from the Rashi occupied by your ninth lord in the Rashi and see how religion is growing.
So if you can do the jumps, then you mean you grow and grow and you stop at some point.
You'll stop at some point, yes, but you can keep growing. But each of these growths take many years. Alright, let's see next slide. Do you have any more questions about Bhatrikaraka?
The jump is
Every
is-
third house.
Yes, but
Yeah, if it's even sign backwards, odd
Ah.
sign forward.
yes.
Sometimes there's nothing to jump to. So if there's nothing to go backwards for, you go forward. It's the only option you may have.
Yes.
Okay. So let's see this. Legitimacy. Sutra 44. Svamshe kevala.
Svamshe kevalam
Papa sambandho.
papa sambandho
Parajata.
parajata.
If only malefics influence the Navamsha Lagna, the child is illegitimate. Swamsha can mean Navamsha Lagna or Karakamsha. If it associates with Navamsha Lagna, then yes, we can say the child is a bastard birth, as we call it. Father cannot be declared. You don't know who the father is. Father and mother were not married before you were born. These are the indications. If this is on Karakamsha instead, then it does not indicate that you're a bastard birth. It indicates you're the black sheep of the family, like the outcast of the family. If only malefics associate. But then there are some peculiarities which come up in the next sutra. Natra,
Natra,
Papat.
Papat,
If the Navamsha Lagna itself, or let me not use the word Navamsha Lagna, if the Swamsha itself is a malefic, then this does not happen.
So if it's a malefic with malefic aspect on it, then it doesn't
Then
happen.
it doesn't happen. Odd. So when does this apply? If you have a benefic sign loading your Navamsha Lagna, or if your Atma Karga is a benefic, then only will these two hold true. Then only will this hold true. Alright. It's a bit odd. They say if only malefics associate in the first sutra, and then they say if Atma Karga is malefic or the Navamsha Lagna is malefic, then it's not the case. So only if you have a benefic Atma Karka Graha, aspected by only malefics, or you have a benefic Navamsha Lagna, aspected only by malefics, can this happen. Then you can be then you can be a bastard or black sheep, as we call it. Is there another way, a name which is more appropriate than bastard birth?
A child out of wedlock.
Child out of wedlock. That's a good one. I'll use that.
This bastard is a little bit hard.
I know. Also on top of this Papa Sambandha must be of two malefics. Not one. Two malefics must associate minimum, and no benefic association of other grahas. That means you can have Atmakarga benefic aspected by two malefics. Black sheep. Atmakarga Navamsha Lagna benefic aspected by two malefics and nothing else illegitimate.
I guess in modern time you would also consider children that are born inside a relationship as legitimate.
Shani Rahu Bhyam
Shani,
Shani,
Prasiddhi.
Prasiddhi.
Rahu and Saturn associating confirms this marriage out of or child out of wedlock, and it's well known to everybody. Can also be a scandal.
Aha.
Everybody
So
knows it.
Everybody knows.
It's they're well aware of it. So that answers half of your question. Okay? It could be well known in the society that this is the case. Okay? That maybe somebody has had a child with somebody else, and that other person and that this person are not married, and it was like a one-night stand, or that other person was already married, or whatnot.
No, that didn't answer my question. My question was, if you're in a partnership
Yes.
and have a child, then it can still be considered as
Yes.
legitimate.
Yes, if it's partnership, yes.
Yeah.
The other aspect of this is that it could be well accepted also. But that well accepted factor comes from the moon also. Okay? Like Cancer associated with this. One benefic can break this. One is not enough. Just one, remove it. When it comes to Karakamsha, this is the only one we can do remedies for. Because you cannot change your birth from Navamsha Lagna. That you can't change. But being the black sheep of the family, you can change. So, if you have this yoga on your Karakamsha, you must do Atmalinga mantra. How to do this Atmalinga mantra? You must do the Atmalinga mantra and meditate on the Ganga entering your heart.
To remedy what? Being
The black
born,
sheep.
Being born as a black sheep.
Then you will no longer be considered the outcast of the family. You will enter the family again and interact with it properly again. Okay? One more sutra. Two more sutras. Gopanam Anyebhya. Malefics other than Rahu and Saturn will try to hide that you are born out of wedlock. Rahu and Saturn will make everybody know about it, but Mars and Ketu will try to hide it. They will not like everybody to know. Okay?
Only astrology.
Exactly.
And the mom and dad.
And mom and dad. Sometimes dad may not know. Mom may. Sometimes mom is also confused. Shubha Varge
Shubha Bharave.
Apavada Matram.
Apavada mantram.
Now listen to this translation. If the malefics are in beneficial Navamsha, there may be loose talk about the illegitimate birth, but nature will be legitimate. Is this very confusing?
Yes, and very common.
Very common also. But it's very confusing because he's saying that if the malefics are aspecting, Rashi Drishti, or joined, and they're in benefic signs, then there'll be loose talk about it. It's a bit odd. Let me give you this example. Navamsha Lagna is Taurus. Okay? And let's say Mars and Rahu are in Taurus, and no other planets associate with it. Then we're supposed to ascertain on one hand that it's not, that it is born out of wedlock, illegitimate that is, and at the same time he's saying here, no, it's just a rumor.
Yeah.
Well,
It's a bit odd, isn't it? It doesn't make sense, truly. That's because the word Varga here refers to a different divisional chart.
So?
It refers to D30 chart.
These are the,
In other words, you may have this yoga in Navamsha, but if you don't have it in D30, then it's not confirmed.
So he's saying check the Varga before you make 100%.
Yes. Loosely we can say, if the D30 Lagna is lorded by Saturn or Mars, it confirms this problem. Then you know it's there. Otherwise not. Okay? So you may see this in the Navamsha. If you see it in D30, that Saturn or Mars lord the Lagna in D30, then it is so, otherwise not.
Lordy.
Lording.
So there's only two options.
Yeah.
Why D30?
D30 has to do with the tattva. Okay? The tattva which caused your birth. If there was an imbalance in the tattva, we say that sin has entered.
Mm-hmm.
So Shubha Varga is that the Lagna in the divisional chart, in this case D30, is benefic. Then he is only a Ruma. If it's a malefic, then it is for sure. I don't have any examples of
I guess they've been kept secret, I mean you can't see them.
this. Okay? With that said, any questions? Okay. Then after lunch, we will continue with spirituality.